Welcome back to Teaching Jobs Korea, and today we have another Hagwon to introduce everyone to. And today we're here at a Hagwon called SLP English Academy, and SLP was created by Seogang University, which is a very big company, and it's been in business for a lot of decades. And they have many campuses in different areas in Korea. And today we're here at the Pyeongtaek campus, located in Gyeonggi, which is a nice campus, and it's a very new campus too, right? And today we have two teachers here that I'm going to introduce you to give us some information on the campus, the program, and also share their experience about living and teaching in South Korea. So today we'd like to introduce teacher Zalina and teacher Brittany. How are you, both of you today?
Doing good.
Great.
First off, just thank you very much for taking the time to have this interview and just kind of give information to teachers about working and living in Korea. I guess just starting off, just get to know both of you. Zalina, I guess where are you from, and I guess how long have you been in Korea for?
So I'm from the United States near Pennsylvania, and I've been in Korea going on about 2.5 years right now.
How do you like it so far?
I like it a lot. It's very nice. I like living here. It's pretty fun.
And what about the city of Pyeongtaek? Have you gone pretty adjusted here to the city?
Yes, Pyeongtaek I think is a pretty nice city to live in, and it's not too hard to adjust here. People are very welcoming.
And thank you for taking the time too, Brittany. And I guess where are you from, and I guess how long have you been in Korea for?
I'm from Georgia. I have been in Korea going on 3 years, but I took a year off in between. So
I guess just the program at SLP, right? It's accommodating kinder to elementary level kids, right?
Yes.
I guess how is it working with that age group?
Working with that age group I think is quite nice because when kids are younger, we kind of say they're sponges, so they soak up information very quickly. So when you're teaching them, they learn quickly and can assimilate the knowledge quite well. So it's not too hard, I think, sometimes teaching them.
I guess with the program at SLP, where does it mainly focus on the program, and then also the teaching aspect of it as well?
So when we're dealing with SLP program, we focus a lot on kind of immersion, especially with kindergarten. The idea being that they are in a completely English environment. So they spend most of their day with their foreign teacher, and a lot of their learning and everything is in English to help them understand things better. Instructions and everything is all in English, and it helps them get used to listening and communicating in English a bit faster than switching off between Korean and English.
What about you, Brittany? What about the curriculum? Do you think how is the curriculum set up here? Is it pretty rigid, or do you get a lot of flexibility, or is it hard to follow or easy to follow?
I think it's pretty easy to follow. I really enjoy teaching Rainbow Bridge. It's easy for the students. They can get reading skills, they get writing skills, speaking skills with it, and it's easy for you to teach because you are given basically everything you need in the training and within the curriculum itself to teach the students. So it's pretty easy to follow, especially for new teachers. It's easy for them to assimilate to teaching if they haven't done it before and grasp it to teach for their first time.
You said that you used to work at another SLP campus and then moved to this one, right? That's a lot of SLPs.
It is. I do enjoy them. I do like the curriculum, and I like that when I started at the first SLP, we had training going into it, so I was trained on their curriculum before I even started.
And I know that I placed you in SLP actually 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
This was actually your first teaching experience in Korea at SLP, right? I guess when you first came into Korea, I'm pretty sure you had a lot of different expectations of what to expect. Right?
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure when you came out here, it was just like, oh, this is not what I had, or there's more to it than that, right? Yeah, there was a lot more adjustment period to it. I guess what were some of the hardest things to kind of adjust to, especially in the cultural part of Korea, right?
Culturally, I would say the hardest thing to adjust to was getting used to the respect that they give a bit more. They're a lot more respectful than I'm used to, very accommodating, and so getting used to the levels of respect and hierarchy and understanding where that goes, I had to adjust to understanding like the difference between the bosses and the teachers and the kids and how respectful the students are to their teachers. So that took a bit of learning.
What about like the actual interaction with like the Korean students, right? I think you had some teaching experience in the States, right?
So actually I taught, I used to teach in the States for summer schools, and then I taught in China, and then I came here. So it is a bit similar to China, but when it comes to the interaction with the students, I actually feel like the students sometimes are a bit more respectful, especially the older they get. They learn the social norms of Korean culture, and so they assimilate that a bit more, and so you have to be able to understand how they communicate to teachers in that way.
And then, you know, at like various Hagwons, you know, you have different management. I think like for a Hagwon, there's like big franchise schools, right, that carry a certain consistent like program. But I think the thing that makes each campus different is actually the people there, right? The management, the communication. I guess obviously coming from a foreign country, right, and then coming here, I think the support that you get from the school and the management is very important for the adjustment period, right? I guess when you first came out here, Brittany, how was like the adjustment period just as a teacher?
For my first time, it was a lot different because when I first came, I came during COVID, for my first year. So it was like completely different from when I came back. But when I came back in June, my adjustment was pretty easy, and everyone was very helpful. They were very supportive. If I had any questions, they were quick to answer. And for the most part, it was pretty easy my second time around. My first time, it was any questions, and they were still supportive at my other SLP, and they mainly just kind of let you do your thing though. They were very like, do what you want to do as a teacher in the classroom. And if there was anything, like they were like, hey, maybe do something different. They were very like open to like having a conversation about it.
What about like language barriers with like management? Did you experience any language barriers?
Not too much. A lot of our management speaks English quite well. Obviously, sometimes there's what we call like colloquial things in English versus Korean that need a bit more explanation. But once you understand how to communicate, I think it went pretty well with communicating with management, any ideas that came across.
I think as long as the teacher kind of understands that the people that they're going to be interacting with on management side, right, they're speaking a second language. So the expression of how they express things could come off a little bit more direct than what you're used to in the West, right?
Yes.
Where you have to kind of add a little bit more politeness and kind of know how to articulate, you know, what you're trying to get through with a little bit of politeness. But in Korea, it's just a little bit more direct. And then I think in Western culture, you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You know? So I think as long as you come in with a little bit of understanding to that, I think it'll kind of help you definitely better accept it and kind of understand it and kind of navigate through it.
Yes, that is quite true.
But it takes a long time to kind of understand that too, right?
I think it depends. Like I said before, because I was in China for a while, they're a little bit similar. So kind of going from there to here kind of helped me out a lot with the different language barriers that I encountered.
What about different cultural barriers, you know, or adjustment? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things in society in Korea that's very different than what you're used to in America, right? I guess what were some of the like things that you had to navigate through or kind of had difficulty navigating through when you first came out here on the cultural side?
Culturally, honestly, I didn't think I had too much trouble because I feel because I like to travel a lot, I'm used to adjusting to different cultures quite easily. So when I came, there were things that were a little bit different. Like for example, I had to get used to service. That was very strange for me. They're like, oh, thanks for being here. Here, this is for you. I'm like, do I pay? What happened? So I had to get used to that and just small things that I had to get used to. But for the most part, I think because everyone was quite welcoming, it's quite easy to adjust to the culture itself.
What about like not knowing any Korean and just having to navigate through like, you know, asking for things, ordering food? I'm pretty sure was pretty difficult in the beginning, right?
I think luckily with today's technology, it makes it easy. Papa Go is your friend. I love Papa Go.
They didn't have Papa Go when you first came out.
Did they? I don't remember. I had Google Translate.
What about like the bowing and greeting part of it?
That took maybe a month and I figured it out. The bowing part, I would say I just did it to everyone because I didn't know what to do. So I was just like, I'll just accept that if I want to say hello, I'm like, oh, okay. Because I didn't know exactly who or exactly to when. So I just said, everyone gets a bow.
What about like, Korea is very safe, right? I think that's probably one thing that you probably saw very different.
So different.
Right? You can leave like your phone out everywhere.
Yes, my mom came to visit and I left my computer in the coffee shop to go to the bathroom. She's like, you can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can.
People leave their phone out just to like, this is my spot.
Yes, all the time.
Louis Vuitton purse on like, just to like call dibs on a seat. But also Korea is a very fast-paced country too, right? Obviously, Pennsylvania, I don't know what part of Pennsylvania you're from, but Pennsylvania has their busy areas and then they kind of like more rural areas, right? Georgia, I'm pretty sure, as long as you're not, how was the pace of life there?
Well, I lived in a more rural area, so it was very slow paced. Like you had to have a car to go anywhere. So like here in Korea, there's transportation everywhere. It's so easy to get around. And so that's what I like. And I like not having to have a car.
And then like utilizing all the apps and stuff, are you pretty acquainted with everything on how to use the apps?
For the most part, most apps now at least do have like English versions, but sometimes I do try to use just the Korean to kind of get used to navigating with the Korean version of things.
Are you able to get anywhere now, like travel wherever you want?
There's Naver, you can buy train tickets, and T-Money Go, you can buy bus tickets, so it makes it pretty easy to get to different places.
And then another thing is like the no-tip culture, right?
I like that. That makes it so easy.
I think the cost of living here compared to the States, it is cheaper.
It is.
As long as you're not sending money to America, like as long as you don't have to convert that.
The conversion. It hurts.
It does.
But if you were just keeping your salary and just using it in Korea for Korea purposes, and then the cost of food, living, I would say kind of balances out of what you would make, even if you do make a little bit more money in the States. Factoring in car insurance, having to have a car,
rent,
the tax rate that they take out too.
Yeah.
So I think that part of it is okay. What about like building friends? Because I know that Pyeongtaek is a big city, right? But it's kind of spread out. It's kind of divided between like kind of like a rural part of it and then a city part of it. But I know that there are a lot of foreigners here too, right? Mainly because the military base is pretty close by. I guess, has it been pretty easy or hard to meet different foreigners out here and make friends?
I would say for the most part to make like friends, usually you're close with your
coworkers,
and then usually if they've been here for a little bit longer than you'll meet people through them, and sometimes if you're just out and about, people will walk up to you and start a conversation, and then you'll end up liking the same things, or like, oh, I saw that you have this on your bag and I also like this, and you'll start up a conversation, and then you'll get like each other's information and you have a friend.
What about, did you make a lot of friends? You've been here for what, 2 years now?
2 years. So it starts, like she said, with coworkers. If you go out, like I've noticed a lot of times if I do experience things like escape rooms or board game cafes, then you end up meeting a lot of people, and then you can go from there and build like a larger friendship group. So that helps a lot with going out. And it just depends on where you go, obviously. So like if you're near AK Plaza, there's a lot more people to meet and hang out with versus if you're near like smaller rural areas.
Do you meet any people from like the military?
Yes.
Pros and cons to that too, right?
Yeah, quite often.
I guess, what about interacting with Korean people? How has that been?
Not as much as maybe I would like. It's a bit harder because they don't frequent the same places all the time as foreigners. And a lot of times, if you do want to meet Korean people, you would have to kind of go out of your comfort zone a lot of times. And sometimes you just don't have time to do that.
And a lot of times, the Koreans are kind of scared to kind of approach because they have to speak English, right?
Yes.
So I think that part of it too. I'm pretty sure the stereotype of Koreans staring, that's actually...
That's normal.
You do get used to it though.
Yeah, it's easy to ignore after a while.
I get scared too. What about like adjusting to the Korean food culture here?
I love the food. The food's so good.
Are you able to eat like spicy foods and like tteokbokki and
Yes,
stuff?
I love tteokbokki, and I love like gochujang, and I eat a lot of kimchi.
Oh, kimchi jjigae.
My poor kimchi jjigae is so good.
So good.
What is like a dish when you go back to America like you will miss very much?
Bibimbap.
Bibimbap. But you can get that in Pennsylvania too.
It's not the same. I have to make it myself.
I would say kimchi jjigae. I love it. It's like a comfort food for me. And so like if I ever feel like sad, I'm like kimchi jjigae. And especially when it gets cold, because where I'm from in the States, it doesn't get like super cold or snow. So in the winter time, I'm like, ooh, I get so excited. But I would like to learn how to make it because I don't think it's super.
No, it's very easy.
Kimchi jjigae is
pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Plus, you know, it's like there's not. You don't need to like match a certain like like ingredients. You could just throw in whatever you want, and then it either turns into like kimchi jjigae or budae-jjigae. It turns into
Either is acceptable.
Do you kind of eat like the seasonal foods too? Like like in the winter, you would eat like hotteok.
Yes, I love hotteok. I wait for winter to eat hotteok.
And then like in the summer, you'll eat like 물냉면.
Oh yeah,
buckwheat noodles.
Yeah,
Have you ever had?
I've had those before. They're really good. It's really nice in summer because summer can get very hot here.
What about like traveling? Have you had an opportunity to like travel different cities?
Yes, it's so easy because you just have to, a lot of times I just take the train, even though sometimes it takes a little bit longer. It's cheaper, it's not too expensive, so taking the train to like Busan or Daejeon is pretty easy to go, so I like to visit those when I have time.
I'm pretty sure you went to Seoul too, right?
Yes.
And then I guess where would you recommend, if someone came here and they wanted to go somewhere unique in Korea, where would be like a place that you would recommend that they go to? That's like a must go to.
I mean, I really like Busan. The beaches in Busan are so nice. And there's like a lot of interesting cultural stuff in Busan to look at and experience. So I think it's really nice there. If you don't like really want to go south, Sokcho is also really nice as well. Up there, the seafood is so good in Sokcho.
Did you eat like kue and stuff?
I ate so many things.
What about you, Brittany? Where's like the best place you've been to?
I would say Busan.
Yes.
I love the beach though. I love the beach and it's easy to get there. You just buy your train ticket and it's not a super long train ride. And there's so much to do there. But I also would say Suwon. But I'm also like, I lived there before and so I'm like, go to Suwon.
Well, Suwon has that fortress.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
I live very close to it. I live 5 minutes from it, and so it's so pretty over there.
Yeah, my kids came out here like a few weeks ago. I took them there. They're like, what's all this hiking?
Yes, that's what you have to get used to in Korea. You are going to walk, hike, and take stairs.
Right.
Be ready.
Comfortable shoes,
Always.
always.
And in terrible weather. Korea has many good things, but I think the weather is not always the greatest.
The weather is unpredictable sometimes, so I've learned to always carry an umbrella.
Right, it's been raining these past couple of days
Yeah.
too. What about Jeju Island? You haven't made it out to Jeju Island?
Not yet.
You should definitely check it out though. It's definitely worth the...
I wanna go. It's so far.
From here, you can go to Cheongju Airport and take the plane from Cheongju Airport to Jeju. So instead of going like Gimpo, which Cheongju is a lot
I didn't know
quicker.
I didn't know that.
Okay, I need to check that
Okay, I
out.
need to
Good
look
thing
at
I came
that.
today.
I need to look at that. I thought I would have to go all the way to Gimpo and then go.
I guess in a closing note now, obviously, SLP has a stereotype, right? And you've been working at SLP, you've been working at SLP for quite some time now. I guess just what is your experience of working at SLP, and I guess what would you say to people that are a little bit skeptical or a little bit concerned about what they read online? Because there are mixed reviews when it gets to big companies, right?
I think the biggest thing is kind of do your research with any place that you want to work at. Part of it has to do with who's there. So you could generalize and say, oh, this company's not good. But because each one has different managers or different owners, you can't guarantee that one place is the same as another. So I would definitely say doing your research would be very important. I don't think all SLPs are bad because I think that it all just depends on who you're working with. And as long as you have a good support system, then it's fine.
What about you, Britt?
I also think that the same thing. Do your research because as Zalina said, different places have different coworkers and different management styles. And so you'll run into different things and you can have someone say, this about a school, but someone had a completely opposite experience. And it's also look at the time period of when those things were happening and if there were changes in management too, because sometimes management changes and then the reputation got better, and so you just have to really research very well into where you're going and what school you would like to work for.
Yeah, and then I work with like many teachers, right, throughout the time that I've been doing this. And I think the main thing is that when you look for a job is that you can't use other people's references as reference, but I think at the end of the day, everybody has different objectives of why they're coming out here, different goals, and things that are different that they're open to and that they're not open to, right? And I think it's just understanding like what it is that you're looking for, what your motives are, what your intentions are, and like what your goals are. And then kind of, when you talk to schools, that's right, ask questions, ask the right questions, right? And try to get an understanding of the program, what the school's goals are, and then also, hearing the program out, and also talking to like a teacher to kind of get that reference. You're never going to be 100% on your decision, right? I think there's a little bit of leap of faith that you have to take to come out here, especially when you're coming out to invest in a different country for, a year of your life is a lot, right? But I'm happy that things kind of worked out for both of you. And I guess how long do you plan to stay in Korea for?
I don't have a set plan just until I guess I decide to move on. I just will keep working in Korea as long as I want.
What about you, Brittany?
Same for me, no set time limit. Just when I feel like the time might be right or I want to experience something different, I'll leave. But for the most part, I like it here. So for now, this is home.
And with that, thank you ladies for taking the time to have this time to share your experience. And thank you for joining us today, and hope you liked the information for SLP and also the city of Pyeongtaek and teaching and working in Korea. And we'll be back with more videos. Please make sure to subscribe and like. Thank you.